Okay, guys, this is going to be my review of Molly's Game. I thought this film was just so entertaining, so fun, so enjoyable, so intriguing. And just, Aaron Sorkin was just such a great screenwriter, whether you talk about A Few Good Men, Social Network, even some of the shows that I haven't seen yet, and what else? American President he also did, and so he's done a lot of stuff that I've personally watched and stuff. And this is his first kind of forte into directing. It was great. It was whether you talk about just I'm watching a lot of some poker films, and so that poker element, the element of where it's almost tell to the order because it has what he's great at, which is kind of political courtroom stuff, yeah, and law stuff. But it also has kind of interesting poker elements and interesting character elements, and just seeing this girl's journey through life, and that bench scene with her and her father was so great because it really did feel like a therapy session for Molly in literally 3 minutes. So pulling that off, a premise, like literally the scene's premise, 3 minutes of your whole of 3 minutes of 3 years worth of therapy, boom. And it was just such a great scene. The courtroom stuff, great again stuff. The great performances all around, great all around cast. Interesting. I really like sometimes when you have uh, actors or most of the dialogue where is what's it called, voiceover. It might seem cheap, but they do it but that's kind of what I think is interesting. It's not cheap. This is not done cheaply. It's because it shows and it tells. And with Aaron Sorkin's screenplay writing, it comes off even better. And you get to see all these moments and great conversations, and it's kind of like a way of kind of like if you wanted to make the comparison, you could almost make the comparison. Molly is kind of going down this rabbit hole, and every time she gets deeper and deeper, she struggles her way back up, and to ultimately, and then it's because it's like kind of like this idea of simultaneously seeing her go down and go up. Because like the way I'm seeing her of suggesting her going up the rabbit hole and getting out of the rabbit hole is the stuff in the courtroom where she ultimately lowers her sentence, um, or gets out of going to jail for the most part, or versus on the contrast of her kind of spiraling down from, oh, I'm just gonna be someone's assistant who hosts poker games, to I'm gonna break the law. I'm gonna take part of the percent of the chips. I'm gonna invite Russian mobs to my poker games. I'm gonna make tons of money. I'm gonna go to New York and make more money, and I'm gonna get do sneaky moves to get people back coming and paying and owing people money and all this stuff. But they make it a way where you can clearly tell what Molly's doing is not right. But um, it's also she's also a likable character where you can understand every time she does something wrong, you could see it's the last result. When she never wanted to, you know take take a percentage of the pot because she never wanted to make it illegal. And there was a scene where she even went to lawyers, confirming that what she was doing was not legal. And it was the last result. Her literally the end. Literally, it took her till nearly ending her old poker run to start taking percentages of the pot. And you see, and even then she has video footage of them doing illegal stuff, and exposing the names of, because she wrote a book, and exposing the stuff of these different people who were at the poker table. And even then even though she could have gotten arrested if she didn't, she still decided not to. But then you understand that she didn't want, she wanted to you know keeps the idea of like one of the last scenes where she talks about how she's doing it for her, name, and which is kind of a kind of way of suggesting that this is because she's doing it because it's right, because that's who she is. But also, just again, like I said, and also the element of this being based on a true story. Those kinds of films are always special to me. You know, those based on true stories, because films that are not films that even are remotely true, you still have that element. Well, well, that couldn't happen. This couldn't happen. And yes, even in based on true stories, there's still stuff that gets changed. But just the general knowledge, former Olympian gets hurt. Now does this, runs high stake poker games, all that stuff, is because it's real. I think there is an even more of an element of intrigue, because it's not just a nice little film. It can be more than that, because it's telling a story that is adds more to a viewer's perspective of this happened. So you care what's gonna happen, because these are real human beings. These are real events. These are real stakes. Um, but yeah, I thought it was very well done. I think I guess you're having a scene and then showing how that scene in the courtroom, or that scene where she's talking to her lawyer, um, has great dividends to where you see her happen in the past. And that opening was I love like the opening where it's like, what's the worst thing, what's the worst thing to happen to an athlete or a team? And I actually played along with it. I'm like, you see these things, you're like, and say, and it turns out, kind of that nice little humorous end to that opening sequence where she's like, it don't matter, you know, or it's like, because like the idea was like, oh, boo-hoo, your team got eliminated. Yeah, I fell and hurt myself type thing. But or just also at that the next opening, like it starts out with her getting arrested, which is crazy to say the least. So I really dug this film. I really thought it was a very nice film. And maybe tonight I watch Trial of the Chicago 7, so we'll see. Anyways, stay tuned for more videos coming right at you.